national carrier to commence operations before end of the year. That seems like a big achievement to this current administration, or except you think differently?
It's a big achievement, it's a big news, but how much is the fare? How much is the fare? How many of us can afford that? How much is aviation fare today? Do we even have the aviation fare available? Can you travel from Uyo to Abuja using the airlines? How much is it? We pay close to 200,000 to travel on air. So it has now become an exclusive reserve for the elite. The road that we used to travel now, the fuel is how much? Fuel is 250 per liter. Yet you don't see it. Yet you buy at black market. Yet you buy ones that are adulterated.
Is fuel for the road transportation even the problem, or the fact that you may not even get to your destination?
Well, I'll get to that point. You've even added to it. So I'm just giving you, when you now say that the national carrier will commence operation, I clap, and I reserve my clapping as well, because it is meant for the elite. It's those who can afford it. Me and you can afford. Who can afford such amount of money to pay for to go to Abuja and pay and come back and do? Your money will just, how much are you earning in a month? How much is the minimum wage? How much is the minimum wage? Check it. I said there last time. I said if you are being paid 100,000, you remove. Then it was rice. Then rice was 50. Now rice started to 53,000 per bag. It means that very soon you will buy a bag of rice for 100,000, and it's going there. The way that is for the free fall, the road is no longer motorable. Look at the flood that happened. Cut off the highways. East West Road can be motorable again. The sea bandits, the pirates are laying ambush. So where is now safe? So you just stay in your house. So the air is now for the people who can afford it, who are the elite, are the political class. That is why for them it's a good news. For us, it's a bad news.
I don't know who are the us.
The us are the downtrodden.
And
for us,
you are part of
the masses. Yes,
you are the downtrodden.
Of course,
as the state chairman of CLO.
Well, CLO is not. It's not a profit-making NGO. It's a
it doesn't matter, but you are the chairman there.
Being a chairman is a nomenclature. It's a position that I offer leadership to save the society, to save the masses. So I speak for the masses because I wear their shoe.
Okay. All right. Also speak to these university lecturers who took half salaries for the month of October, and they met yesterday at the National Executive Council level, and they came out of the meeting and said, well, they don't need to go on strike. We will not go on strike. But the federal government, mind the way you push me around and all of that. They embarked on strike for 8 months, and they were not paid for the 8 months. But, this is happening. So I don't know how you may feel about this kind of situation. Or couldn't it have been possible for the federal government to just close eyes and just pay the 1 month salary?
You see, the federal government is packing so much substance, so much food, and putting his mouth more than he can chew, or beating more than he can chew. The federal government is trying to provoke, if I want to use the language of Femi Falana, the ASU members to go on another round of strike. I'm happy for their patriotism for coming out to say we're not going to go on a second round of strike, because if you look beyond what the utterances of the Minister of Labour and Productivity, you will see that it's not helping matters. It's not helping the country. It's not helping the security of the country. It's not helping our economy. It's not helping in any regard, in any way. If you watch him I watch him on a channel TV interview with Shehu, I was surprised the way he was talking. He talks like he's a headmaster. These people are his children. Doesn't behave that way. You are a public servant. You should be decorum in your comment. You should be applied to a level of diplomacy and logic. You should be real. Let your workers know that you are truly their boss. But don't impose it on them. Now, when this strike started, it was because of things like this. It's like that would have lasted for maybe, call it 1 to 3 weeks, lasted for 8 months, and it took the appeal court and National Assembly, the House of Reps Speaker, and other Nigerians like us who have pleaded with ASU to suspend the strike and go back to the classroom. But now ASU has obeyed the law, the court order, and resumed. And you come and be paying them half salary 14 days that they have worked. He said that is what they have worked. Then the other 8 months is not going to be applicable. You forgot that ASU members have 3 functions to perform. One is to teach children in classroom. The other one is to offer community services. The other one is to do research. So even when ASU was on strike, that is to say teaching of our children in the classroom wasn't going on. They were doing these other 2 functions, which is research work and which is community service. And the postgraduate students, we are being taught, we are being offered assistance, we are being given, we are being coached by ASU members. So why then you say that ASU are not entitled to their 8-month salaries? That is why I'm saying that the way the Minister of Labour is going, watch it between now and the end of the day, you will see the presidency now will speak and disown him because he's on his own.
All right. So we move straight to the This Day newspaper, where court orders remand of EFCC boss Power in Kuje prison for contempt. I don't know if you were shocked when you heard it yesterday. I was shocked myself because I never saw that coming.
I was shocked because I have said over time that Nigeria should build stronger institutions, not stronger men. The way the EFCC is operating is as if the chairman is above the law. The case of 2018, since 2018, that the court issued an order that the former director of operations in the aviation industry, his vehicle should be returned to him. Since 2018, the matter has lingered. The court order has not been appealed. So when the court now ordered that the EFCC chairman be remanded for contempt of court, I wanted to see him in handcuffs. I saw him coming out from the National Assembly and addressing the press, speaking, was very happy that he had appealed it. This is a 42-year-old man that should not allow his career to be ruined. He has so many lives.
So you believe he should have gone to the prison?
No. I mean his actions. You should allow that thing to happen. You should have allowed that court order to be disobeyed. Even though he wasn't there when it was made, but on coming on board to inherit the asset and liability of the commission, you should get the files and see what was done in the past and what the law says should be obeyed. What you are this is the same court that you took this man to. You are the people who took these persons to the court, and the court has ruled against you. But if the court had ruled in favor of you, you would have been in a haste to execute it. So that you are executive, that you are a federal government agency, doesn't mean that you are above the law. So this now tells us.
But he's not saying to be in all fairness, Franklin. In all fairness to him, he's not saying he's above the law. He says that natural justice should take its course, and he has appealed the matter. So it is until maybe he gets to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court says go to prison that he will say, okay, I don't have a choice anymore.
No. You see, up to today, the court order has not been appealed. The court that issued the order, you have not filed a stay in that same court. You are going to appeal. That you've gone to appeal. First of all, you open just like the ASU issue. When ASU appealed the National Industrial Court's judgment to appeal court, you may recall the appeal court judgment because they go and settle out of the court. And they went and they came back. The court said, okay, what you will do, ASU, before you will even hear you should obey that order of the court. So what I think should have been done should be the EFCC chairman being on handcuff and taken to the prison, and while he is there, appeal is not filed. He has obeyed the court order. That is how the legal system is run. Law is above everyone. Rule of law means that the law is the father. Everybody is the children. We are children. So because he's the EFCC chairman doesn't mean that he's above the law. Fine. The appeal court might, quash the order, but you first of all obey it, whether it is right or wrong. You should be on handcuff. The IG should get him, take him to the prison, let him be there. Then while he is there, the appeal can now be filed. At that point, you can now feel that when it gets to our own thought, who are the ordinary Nigerians, the law will look at in 2 ways. You've had people who are being sent to prison on court order. Name them. So why are you now trying to apply different rules for the person in Is it because it is the appointer, that is the government that appointed him, that would enforce the law? That is why he is walking freely and moving smart on the street and saying that he has appealed. That is not how the law is. Appeal will come, but obey the order first.
So, yesterday, a very popular human rights activist made a post on his Facebook. I don't want to mention his name, but if you think very critically, you'll know who I'm talking about. He said, well, I was seeking the sanctity of the court, and I was sent to prison for 1 month. And look at this one that is even rightly convicted and for contempt of court, and he's sleeping in his house. He said Nigeria is a joke. So people have different ways of looking at things, but you will be so shocked that another person who sits where you're sitting will say that, oh, really? He will quote different laws in the constitution to, back the the chairman of INEC. So we take a call now. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, please. Go ahead, please.
The people you see that great.
I agree to you too. Welcome.
Good morning.
I want to contribute to one of the things about the chairman campaign. What in Nigeria now? I don't know what is going on. This issue now is mainly judiciary. They want to call it judiciary. And that's the hope of common man. Living in Nigeria, I will not take the case. I will not take the case now. But the person who gets case is Ramadi. It's not possible. But we look at the condition of Ramadi. What is the presenter that your partner is talking about to happen to the Astro? They tell us to go and tell court order. As a pay. They're giving now the Kalu free. He said as a protest. But he's going to do it. Up to now. Okay, look at the new Efcc chairman. They're taking it to prison. They hold him. They say, I don't know what is happening to our judiciary. And if this thing happens, everybody have gone. That's the ending of Nigeria. Thank you, and continue our program.
All right. Thank you very much. So, I don't know if you have anything to respond to that.
That's like what I'm saying. You apply selective application of justice, but that ought to be the case. When the court makes a judgment, the judgment of the court stands. You heard the case of Kano, where the court has ruled, release this man, take this man back. You forfeited the procedure. He has not been released.
All right.
And here the court said this man should be sent to prison, convicted him, but he's moving freely.
At COP27 UK to give Nigeria £95 million for climate resilient program. Welcome development.
Yeah, welcome development, but how will it be used? The issue of corruption. How was the how?
Please, sorry. Let's take a call from Mr. Raphael. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, please.
Hello. My name is Raphael Isaac. I'm calling from Nigeria State.
Thank you.
The issue of our Nigeria, because my mother just get retired from Nigeria State civil service, close to three years. Are you with me, sir?
Yes, please. I am.
Yes. So up to date, the Nigeria State government has not paid our grant. So that one stay aside. In this our politicians, religion bias that they are showing, and which is wrong in Nigeria. So let the government do the right thing to help the peace of the country.
All right.
For the election coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I saw a headline here on This Day saying UK no longer against travel to FCT. Insist risk remains. I don't know if you've got the headline because it's a little confusing. UK no longer against travel to FCT, but insists risk remains.
The security
please
advice.
forgive me. Sunday from Benin State. Hello, good morning.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, please, good morning.
Good morning, all of you.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
morning.
Okay. I just want to make some contribution over the issue. I think I somehow the analysis is doing well. Just like the last caller, the problem in Nigeria is the government. Our government is not obeying law. Court will give order, then the government doesn't obey law. So, and is making any person, whenever a court gives order, the person chooses either to obey or not. So, and the person will be working about free, because federal government is safe. Who is supposed to be working with the judiciary? They are not doing so. So, and that's why when somebody said that Nigeria is a joke, he's not mistaken, because it's as if it's for particular people and it's not.
But I think that it is uncharitable for a citizen of a country to describe his country as being a joke. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's patriotic.
He just saying his mind, because it's what he's saying. It's what he's saying, because if we didn't speak out, then who will speak? So we need, when something is not done right, somebody should say it, so that if government will hear, they should hear. So if this country, all of us must enjoy it, both the government in power and the masses, we should obey law that we put together to guide us in this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Franklin, we've run out of time. So land on your thoughts and let it form your parting shot.
I wouldn't say Nigeria is a joke. I would say Nigeria is like Charlie Boy shoes where anything happens.
Well, what's the difference?
Well,
Charlie Boy is a clown, so it is synonymous to a joke.
Because joke, like you are saying, is unpatriotic. This one is more better than you see it that way. Now, the ASU strike, government should not push our ASU members to go back to a second round of strike. I also read that the government is trying to pay the faction of ASU members that put out to form a union paradise against us, their full salaries. If that is done, it will be causing a crisis in the country. Then the federal government should look into how to reduce poverty. We're approaching the festive period. This particular economy is too harsh on the other Nigerians. The PDP crisis, the party should look inward. I've read a report that the Governor Emmanuel, the chairman of the campaign council, has resigned. Yesterday in the rally in Uyo, he said he has not resigned. Governor Mohammed of Bauchi State, I read where they said he will support Atiku. All this report will not help the PDP. The PDP should look inward and resolve their issues. Mike and co should be allowed to carry out their activities if they don't want to join. They have the freedom to remain, and not support the party. And then they should also open up the states for other party members to have the freedom to express themselves. You cannot stifle the political space in your state because you are the sitting governor, because you run your policy, or because your ideology and the party's candidate doesn't agree. You now stifle the space. The Onitsha fire incident is a sad one. We have 4 persons we have feared dead. We believe that there will be full detailed findings to know what led to the fire incident. The flood case that has left so many parts of the country, like in the south here, where you have the east-west road cut off, Yahoda, Bayelsa, and the rest are affected. We want to plead that the federal government should look into this issue. Now, the fund is coming from UK to the government to tackle the climate change. The fund should be used judiciously. The career that will commence, very soon. It's a good news, but government should look into resolving the issue of fuel scarcity in the country so as not to put us into more hardship we're already facing.
I didn't know you had memorized all the headlines we had for today. It shows you were a very good student. Thank you very much, Franklin. And he's been the Kwai State Chairman of the Civil Liberties Organization. And fortunately, we've had the privilege of having him review papers with us every Wednesday.